Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to crochet the even moss stitch, and it's this super cute texture stitch that you see right here, and it is super easy to make and great for beginners, so stay tuned and keep on watching. Hi friends, I'm going to show you how to make the even moss stitch, which is this stitch that you see right here, and it is a texture stitch, and it is actually super simple to make. I know it kind of looks intimidating because of the texture, but you only need to know slip stitch and half double crochet. So I made this swatch with size 5 category yarn, but you can make it in any size yarn that you have available. And I actually used the Lion brand's color Made Easy, and I think that yarn is actually discontinued, which is really sad because it had really nice stitch definition, which you can see right here, but I still have some in my stash. So I actually like this stitch with a chunkier yarn, but like I said, you can make it with any yarn that you have available. So let's get started. Alright, so for this stitch, you're going to need the yarn that you decide to use and the hook that is recommended. So in my case, I'm using a 7mm crochet hook, and then I'm just going to make a slip knot. And for this stitch, you will need to chain an even number plus 1. So I'm going to make 16 plus 1, which is a total of 17 chains. So do that, whichever amount of stitches you decide to do. Just remember, you need to make an even number plus 1. Alright guys, so here I have my 17 stitches, and I'm going to make a row of single crochet across. I'm going to start with single crochet. So in my second chain from the hook, I'm going to make a single crochet, and I'm going to do that all the way across. And I should have a total of 16 single crochets at the end of this round. Okay, so I will see you back when you finish that row of single crochets. Okay, so after you finish that single crochet row, we're going to chain 1, and this is not going to count as a stitch. Your chain 1 is not going to count. And in this first stitch right here, we're going to make a slip stitch. Okay, and then on our next stitch, we're going to make a half double crochet. Okay, and that's pretty much it, you guys. We're going to be alternating that all the way across our row here. So on this next stitch, we're going to slip stitch. Then on our next stitch, half double crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet, and slip stitch. And we're going to do that all the way across, and on your last stitch you should have you should end up making a half double crochet. Okay, and that is that's how you're going to know that you made the right amount of stitches and that you didn't miss any. because you should always end with a half double crochet on your last stitch here. So continue doing that all the way across until you get to your last stitch, and I will show you how to continue, which is pretty easy, you guys. You will get the hang of this. Okay, so now we're going to continue with our third row. So we're going to chain 1, turn, and because this is a 1 row repeat, you guys, it makes it super easy. We're just going to repeat the same that we just did on the previous row. So on this first stitch, we make a slip stitch. Our next stitch, we make a half double crochet. Next stitch, slip stitch. Oops. Half double crochet in the next stitch. And you should start getting this little ridges, or I don't know what to call them, like bumps. Okay, so I just did a half double crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch here, and then half double crochet in the next, and slip stitch in that next. So we just repeat the same as the previous row, and remember your last stitch here should end up being a half double crochet. So here I made a slip stitch. I'm gonna make a half in my next, slip stitch, half, slip stitch, slip stitch, half, slip stitch, and like I said, half double crochet in this last stitch here. And you see how this texture starts showing up in your project. So for the remaining of your rows, how many rows you want to make, your project should end up looking like this. So you can see all that texture. So remember, repeat the same row all over and all over again until you have your desired length of whatever you want to make. This is a super easy stitch, great for beginners, and this stitch is actually great for dishcloths, but I would also recommend it for garments. I actually have a hat pattern made with this stitch, and I will put a picture in the screen so you guys can see it, and you can find that pattern for free on my blog, and the link will be in the description box below if you want to check it out. It's a written pattern on my blog, and yeah, if you just want to make that hat, go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you found this stitch helpful, and I will see you back on my next video. Bye guys.